back games where we think about the landscape of top lane for Order, all of their counter picks are negative. You pick an Aatrox, we'll pick a Victor, we farm up, we become scary later. Tally on the Vladimir has done similar things. That's getting banned every game. The GP is exactly the same, and also that's an AD variant. And for these picks, every single time it's a Nocturne into Kindred ban in the second phase, and then Order, I think Karthus has to die at this point because top side of the map is getting run over. Fudge has played now 2 games in a row, and I think he'll continue to see play because out of the 2 top laners they have, he's the more aggressive, I will punish. On blue side, during the regular season, they were playing a lot of Topoon, let's get the Gnar, let's get the stable lanes, whereas Fudge is the carry guy.
I don't know, just on the run over bit. Order had a 5,000 gold lead and Fudge died twice in laning phase game 1.
Yes, but that's my point, because in game number 1, what happens when you lose that, it's okay, we give Order a little bit of time. Karthus goes up, Victor goes up, you get there eventually, and then he can pop off. Your mic's just dead as well. But because the thing is, all of these are negative matchups, and then when you win, you make it look so easy. Rise is just booming, pushing in top side.
Negative matchup.
Well, Victor into Aatrox, sitting up there, you have a Karthus, the top 2v2 is just sitting there, that's double AP. This side, yes, once again, it's
but Victor is a hard counter to Aatrox. It's not a 50-50. That's a 70. Apart from Hecarim, maybe the best lane into Aatrox in the game.
But I mean, even still then, in those situations, the AD damage has to come from somewhere. It's the TF lock in mid, and they're still looking to 3-man dive. Top side, looking to dive Tally. And that worked out great for Order. It was 5k early game lead. Swiffer was ulting bot, TPing to defend against the dive. But the thing is, I think this top matchup, and I think we're going to continue to see Fudge seeing play, and they're going to look to do this style because a lot of these things are the scale up, eventually Order gets to their team fight, and the reason I hit on the bans, Nocturne and Kindred, is because the other side of the map also gets a reasonable matchup, right? Braum, blind pick, and then it's the bans for the top lane, blind pick as well, so it's Rakan into Braum, and then you don't have huge priority to play through bot side, and so Mammoth are solid, and then if the top side goes successful, Fudge does that.
Okay. I really disagree with probably 90% of what he just said. Order had priority bottom lane, took a turret plate at 8 minutes, but died to a really good time gank. And I think top lane had counter pick in this game, but exactly what happened in this game happened to Fudge in game 1. He was just a recipient of a double TP top lane, triple kill.
Yeah.
So you can't say the laning phase was where he generated that advantage, because it certainly was not. And they had to force topside and still couldn't kill Tally in that gank, right? So I just think a lot of this game is being built around how the other team has counterattacked to really winning scenarios. Because if you ignore Fudge on the top side of the map, once again it was Mammoth actually counterattacking bottom side, flashing onto the Dream, burning his flash, then being able to pick up Jake in the 3v3. That was a counter gank that came through once again from the Jarvan. And then once again, being able to exploit that advantage. They repeat gank the bottom lane immediately when Dream doesn't have summoners, kill Dream again. And then, Dream's just out of the game from that point. So the winning side of the map from Order, therefore loses, even though they did have an advantage. So I think Mammoth are just doing a really good job of reading Order's plays and then being able to counterattack on the strong side of the map. I actually don't think they're winning it through Order's strong side of the map, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think Mammoth are necessarily winning the game on their strong side. They're actually doing a really good job of shutting down Order's strong side of the map.
So what do Order do then for the third game?
So I agree with kind of where Bryce got to. I think you just pick a ganking jungler and try and get the party started earlier. But I don't think that necessarily is the only thing you can do. You can also look to, play Mage's bottom lane, try and get a harder shoving bottom lane that, is in less danger of dying when you do shove. So I think there are multiple avenues to go through, but I assume Spooks will just go towards a Jarvan or a release in this game.
And that was largely the emphasis on my point. It's all of the picks that have been defaulted to eventually. It's the Jinx yesterday, the Cogmore. We see the Jinx again. It's these are things that need items to be relevant.
But they're lane bullies. Cogmore and Jinx both lane bullies.
Yeah, but once something goes wrong, it goes wrong disastrously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is exactly it. And in first game, Mammoth, at the drop of a hat, an Infernal Dragon team fight goes wrong, they get slapped, and then the game is on their strong footing. They don't give them an inch.
Yeah.
And I think that is that's it.
I also think Ezreal is that champion. If you're behind on Ezreal, you're useless. If you're behind on Karma, you're useless.
Yeah.
So I think every
behind is
champion
no bueno.
on a certain level, if you don't have gold of them, is not going to be able to generate it. It's about being able to have agency throughout the correct stages of the game to kind of use that gold efficiently.
They should pick Garen Yumi. That shit's unkillable. That was wild yesterday. All right. So, game number 3 coming up. Before we get on to the radiant medal, a question. Is this the moment where the veteranness of the Order lineup sort of is at its strongest, that you go, you're down, you're on stage, like, this is the mental resolution where you come back?
No, see, I actually think like game 2, after you lose game 1, the veterans come in the room and they calm everyone down. Then like after you down to 0-2, it's like kind of the rookie's job, like the blissful ignorance.
Right,
of like, I've never been swept before. I don't know what this is like. Let's just come out and hit it with everything we got. I actually think this is like probably Paris and Dream are doing a lot of the talking in the room right now, is how I would assume it goes.
I can see that.
Okay, I love that. It's kind of
You take it the extra step, like of the veterans in like Mammoth right now, like, oh my God, guys, we can't afford to get swept. It's like,
yeah,
no.
That's beautiful. Alrighty, let's move on then to the Radiant medal. So this, of course, is kind of like
the big one.
Yeah, the MVP of the split as voted by the captains of the various teams. It's, arguably the most important.
Absolutely.
Voted by
recognized by
peers.
your peers. That's exactly what you want. Do we want to start with runners-up, or do we want to go with winner?
I think go runners up first.
Go runners-up first. So we had, the main runner-up, like the runner-up, Raise. R-A-I-S-E.
Oh, he's got an I in his
He's
name.
got that I. How do we feel about Raise coming in runner-up?
Jake, me? I can see that absolutely, right? This is a guy that stepped into a struggling split 1 Direwolves. He elevated the jungle game, and we've kind of seen that before. Jungle is a role where one individual, like let's take Schernfire for an example, like stepped in and he was like the top tier jungler, and that changes the dynamic of the split. And I think like last week it was a Sejuani play, the like strafe flash. If you're doing that on those champions, his Gragas is clean. Like those moments are where individuals shine, and I think that is like very deserved high praise from his peers.
In competitive play, it is very, very difficult to carry from the jungle position. And he did that on his team. Like, as far as, like, if you were going to start carries on the lineup of Direwolves, Raze is certainly at the top, and that means he's had a pretty stellar split.
The other runners-up, Triple and Ryoma. So some familiar names here, which
Probably
means,
didn't
of
win.
course, that the winner is the other Raze. Or the original
20K.
Raze. Original Raze, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is the first MVP he's picked up. But
I believe so.
Yeah, in 2015, the Chiefs picked up Raze in replacement for Radiant, and I said, this is a guy, if he continues to play like this, you can build an entire franchise around. And I was talking about it, like, the Chiefs aren't a super team. DOS isn't a super team player. All respect to DOS, he's a role player, you know? Ayla is a rookie. Only was a role player on his previous lineup as well. They have like a huge carry and superstar in Raze, and they finished at the top of the split and should be considered the favorite going into MEO, regardless of what happened in that last game versus the Bombers. And it's a lot of it is to do with this guy. He's a shot calling 80 carry, speaks a lot, and has a good, huge veteran presence on this team now. I think he's just a complete package.
And that's the big thing for me, is context hugely matters. This is like a revamped Chiefs lineup. He came in on like 27 with 4 old farts. He sticks it out with DOS, and like, yes, DOS is like, okay, he's the leader of Chiefs, but he has a rookie support bringing up. This was a young guy. I feel like everything I've said about him recently, like individual performance when they play through him looks really good. When they play away from him, when they play towards Tien, the other rookie starts in the top side, he still looks good. And also like bridging Ayla from like a like no competitive experience, like solo queue player up to one of the most formidable bottom lanes. Like that is a difference going from like dominant supports, submissive AD carry role to the complete flip. And I think definitely well deserved.
And plays everything.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Plays on.
I was saying, like, if there was going to be a
What?
lane that would play Garen Yumi, it would like, probably be his lane, right? So I think, like, this guy can play absolutely everything. Has a really good mind for the game. Like, underrated aspect of League of Legends is how smart you are about it. He counts in, like, CC. He's, like, just overall, he's very, very good.
There was a moment, and this is like random ass reference.
Yep.
I lived on Trundle, like in one stupid game for like 2 HP, and Sam's like, "What? How did you live?" And Quinny K said King's Tribute, which I don't know how many we got forecasters
That's
in
a
the
passive.
room. Nobody knows what the passive is called, but he's one of those guys that just knows everything about every champion.
Yep.
So he's very, very well
That's why
rounded.
Trundle's so good at taking Baron, because he gets a percentage health back out of Baron's life.
Feels good.
There you go. Everybody learned something, and it's time to learn the results for game number 3, because we are about to jump into it right now with the desk and their working voices and the Macca's Champ Select.
hopefully working voices. We did try during the break, and I think
we're good.
We're good.
We're good.
And we have a backup this time as well.
Never do
it's
that
not
to
good.
me again.
I'm sorry. You
That
just
was-
sort of 4 solo cast in Gauntlet. There you go.
It was really
it's your chance to
stressful.
test out play-by-play, though. How
If
did you
I
enjoy
was
it?
if I was
Got your
told
first
I
team
was
fight?
solo casting, I would have been better. But it's like I didn't know.
Midway through a team fight
Yeah.
into win moment.
Yeah. That was fun. I just don't want to ever do that again. If I could choose.
I'm told it builds character, you know? I feel like everybody needs a solo cast once in their life.
It happens.
Okay, we are getting into our 3rd game of the night, and it is, once again, what a surprise, it's Mammoth Order, but Order are going to take the red side. I believe it should be Mammoth choosing blue. We'll get confirmation in a second. as
We'll
we
see
get to
champion
select.
select in a hot second anyway. We'll be okay. What we
That
do
is
know
correct.
is that Mammoth have been on an absolute tear in this best of 5 series. There's a lot of contention on the desk, on the couch, I should say, between the guests there, the analysts, as to, you know, what's good, what's bad between these teams. But what we do know is that Mammoth have been finding the W's. And Order, it felt like to me, having the counter pick for top lane was a big deal. And it feels like having Fudge in the game is a major reason as to why that's the case. But here we have Order on blue side again. We have Fudge with the potential for a counter pick. We may not ever see a Gangplank ban again because they have the likes of the Rise, and there is a real chance that this champ select is vastly different just because everything could be left up in that particular lane.
Exactly, you know, it's that spot check. If you can beat it, then you're like, oh, this is no longer a threat, and it opens up an entirely new ban for yourselves. And against a team like Order, it's just like that's another key pick taken away from them.
What has me curious is, will the first pick be Karthus again? Because I don't think Karthus is a problem for Order, you know? I think it was perfectly fine, but I still think that there's a world where you go towards a bottom lane rotation first, or you get a flex pick. You know, you do something a little bit more standard, you would say, as draft globally is concerned. You know, say the LEC yesterday, Akali is like the first pick champion because it's a flex pick.
Sure.
If Yumi's up and available, which it isn't, was one of the other options. But like Aatrox is there if Gangplank is banned, and you know Gangplank is something that they've been picking instead, so they'd never ban it. We really have to see where they're going to go here, and like I wouldn't be surprised to see a Karthus again. It's back to what works for them, but I'd like to see something else from them for sure. That's something else.
It is, immediately. It was also banned against them a bunch here in playoffs, so it will be Gragas' first pick out from Order. Again, this can flex to the bottom lane, though. It can also be Jake's pick, so it can go between jungle and the bottom lane. Mammoth looking towards their first pick of Vladimir. Also to note, they banned away the Xayah part of the Lovers duo, including the Morgana and the Kiana. So Gangplank is up if they want it, as is Karthus, but not the mid lane priority. And Mammoth looking towards their second pick right here, and it will be Kai'Sa.
And this is definitely one of those moments, though, where, like, Gragas Yasuo's on the cards, Vladimir's an immediate response just as a precaution. And it's not just Vladimir as a precaution, it's triple. So, like, this is doubly scary. You know, you walk around as Mammoth, you could only feel confident having the Vladimir. He's so good on the pick, it's been banned from him, and it's just not banned from anyone in the entire world besides triple right now. And I mean, that's a big boon of confidence for Mammoth coming into this 3rd game. For Order, it is a case of they've got a lift, but they're very aware of that. I look forward to seeing if it's going to be a bot lane or it is. And this, to me, is Old Faithful for Jake and for Dream.
Yeah, for sure. Bringing up the Tristana once again, the Rakan as well into Jake's hands. So, yeah, we'll see if they can make this work. As I said, Old Faithful, the old-fashioned. Mammoth, back up to them. It's just going to be Aatrox, yeah, here as well for the top lane. So, Vladimir into the mid. You would have to imagine triples Vladimir is something to be feared. And Gangplank drops down the priority, but it's still going to be banned on second phase right here. Why not? You have bans to spare.
Well, it's a free ban because you've gone for the Aatrox pick, right? So right now, what Mammoth have done is they've prioritized their jungler and their support pick. They've seen their opponent's bot lane duo, however, so it is curious if they have prioritized that support pick. Maybe just a little bit of precaution to say, like, we want the Aatrox. You know, we don't want to give them that opportunity to ban it. And we can just ban counters anyway, and it's a good pick. And they've got enough support options. Perhaps the cards are still available. They've got the Alistar if they wanted. Kai'Sa Ali is going to be very powerful. We'll have to see where Order choose to go with their second ban, as Brom's already been taken off the cards. And with the Alistar removed, those options do start to wear a little bit thin. Maybe Leona. Kai'Sa Leona could be good.
Yeah, not bad at all. Into the Rakan, absolutely. Volibear ban here. But could go back to basics, though. You know, Alistar has been a very common pick into the Rakan. And it's going to be locked in as well here from Mammoth. Oh, instant lock as well of the Cassiopeia.
Yeah, it's also something that's been played top lane. I wouldn't be shocked to see this going top lane again. Depends on if it's a Yasuo that we're going to see in mid, however, from Swiffer here as a last pick. No Kiana. He's not allowed. Vladimir, one of the few matchups that you would say can handle the Yasuo okay. You know, there's not a lot that a wind wall does there, and they're not actually going to choose to go for it. Perhaps not feeling that in the clutch moment when it's absolutely necessary, this is the pick they'll do. Instead, the Cassiopeia and the Jace that can go between both solo lanes have been secured.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see the priority on Cassiopeia right here from Swiffer when you have things like Zoe in his backpack, Syndra, Lissandra even. But yeah, it will be Cassiopeia into this mid lane. Obviously just well into the Vladimir matchup. And then Jace will go into the top, into the Aatrox. And final pick, Sejuani. Wow, what a world we live in where it's final pick Sej.
Yeah, getting to see the entire composition of Order here. Mammoth have opted into the tank, the engaged champion. They have engaged already, however. On the side of Mammoth, they've got the Alistar that can go from the front. You can use the Hex Flash. And you've got the Vladimir that can flank as well as the Aatrox, quite good at flanking. But this is something that's just a little bit more reliable for them. You know, it's ranged. You can throw it out, and if it misses, fair enough, you get to wait. Whereas an Alistar, a Vladimir, a little bit more committal. So I like this. The non-committal engage source has been secured. It's also very good into the likes of the Jace and the Cassiopeia, who don't have the strict mobility again. There was a world where you consider the Jarvan, but there's a bit more to deal with it this time around, and the Jarvan may just instantly evaporate if he tries to go for those plays. Some tools to cancel things out as well. In this game, something worth noting is that Dream on his Tristana has and can cancel an Alistar Headbutt Pulverize combo if he's finger on the trigger ready to go. Not always the safest game to be that champion, but we'll see how he plays it out, as this is crunch time for Order. But it's actually Dream on Cass?
I'm going to assume that's a graphics thing, because otherwise this changes things significantly.
Did I not notice?
No, surely not.
I was
They
so in
swapped.
my own head. There's...
Wait, I was told that they swapped, but I don't know if that confirms whether it's Cassiopeia.
What did they swap to?
Okay, no, it is. It is.
Oh, it's Cass bot.
Yeah, it's Cass bot with, yeah, Tristana in the solo lane.
Well, that does flip the script a
that
little bit, doesn't
changes
it?
many things. Okay. And then Swiffer will take Jace. All right.
Well, that is the kitchen sink and then some being thrown at their opponents. Now, the thing that this composition does have is that you'd never know this is what they're doing until they actually pick it and they swap with 20 seconds left. So that Aatrox would have had no idea it's going to be the Tristana matchup and had to, on a whim, change up what he was doing. And Dream, I guess by seeing the bottom lane duo, knows it's a Kai'Sa, knows that it's an Alistar. Very confident that the Cassiopeia W does actually do significant work. And Tally, he's going to start jump here.
Jumps over the wall, finds Fudge. He'll see all 4 members right there, juking into the brush. He goes straight towards inner turret. Flash comes out, forces the flash from the top laner.
Makes you wonder if Spooks instead could have used his body slam to force the flash, and maybe there wasn't a summoner spell trade, but it would have been a bait, and it would have been a risk that, you know, Fudge just took the gamble and didn't use the flash himself. So they trade summoner spells. That is a Tristana at level 1 who has the jump and can definitely punish that Aatrox without the summoner spell. But likewise can be said on the opposite side of the map. Rakan now not having the summoner spell. If you ever use that W at level 2 and an Alistar catches you out, knocked into the turret and
You're
dead.
dead. Yeah, 100%. Okay, yeah. I mean, honestly, this makes me a little happier as like a viewer of this game, right? Because I'm just like, Cassiopeia mid with all those options available. Whereas like Swiffer Jace, love to see it. Bot lane Dream moving away from the AD carries, but then had Cassiopeia in reserve, like on match point right here against Mammoth. And then first time we're actually seeing the solo lane Trist in the OPL.
I mean, it's amazing to me that this is the assignments that they chose to go towards, right? There's merit in every single assignment that they could have done. Swiffer is a fantastic Jace, so not shocked to see him on the pick. But Tally could also play it into the Aatrox. Not a horrible matchup. You know, you build Executioner's Calling very easily on Jace as a champion. Cassiopeia can deal with a Vladimir actually quite successfully. You know, has high kill threat if he runs Ignite, but it's going to be bot lane where it's also good. So it's interesting that, you know, on the blue side, the flexibility of these champions for Order, it really feels like they've shown everything that they can do in a single draft, and they've flexed it to what works best for them. In a weird way, it's their own version of the Exodia, so to speak.
Yeah, maybe. And Jake, that's at level 2 there from Destiny and King. They'll get the knock up, the headbutt against the wall, the ignite and the kill. Caffeine Rain, first blood to the bottom lane.
And that's where the flash trade doesn't come in too handy. But it's not just the flash trade, it's the level 2 being in there well and truly first by the side of Destiny and King. Basic League of Legends, but very well played from both of them to secure themselves that kill. And good use of the sweeper to ensure they know where he is. Now Dreamer spotted Babip and probably going to chunk him out. Actually, no, he's just going to auto-attack him a couple times.
Going to poke him a little bit.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Noxious Blast, and that'll be it, yeah. He literally just prodded him out of the crux. That was like nothing else. No Twin Fang spam at all. Top lane, and here we are. Tally into Fudge. This Tristana, we finally get to see it. Big lane bully. And then we definitely missed the new hotness that was the Tristana solo lane for a long time in other regions, but Fudge will get a nice punish here, actually, through the minion wave.
Yeah, that one really hurt Tally. I feel like if he wanted to jump there and he got cancelled, he was actually dead. So he chooses to tank it. And unfortunately for him, tanking it is at the cost of a lot of HP. Destiny is mid lane at level 2. He has gone for the boots. He's got the brown bag, so he moves fairly quickly, especially in comparison to everyone else on the map right now. Except for Spooks, who has the Predator boots. But that was super early to go to mid lane and just say hello. You know, ensuring that Triple gets the farm, crashes under the turret, he doesn't get punished. A nice thing to do is Spooks is hunting top. Oh
Goes
my
in
God.
for the E-Flash, commits the Q as well. Explosive charge is going to be enough. Splits the
Oh!
tower. Go, wow, that was enough. Have the charge up on the tower there. And they will get the 1-for-1.
That turret well and truly ramped up in its DPS,
yeah.
but Tally is still reaping the benefits of this draft right now. Spook sacrifices his life for it. Tally jumps away, has the teleport, and still has the flash for himself as well, and will have a much better purchase than that of his counterpart in Fudge, who has got the sword, got the shield, and we're fighting bottom.
Gets a double knock-up. Destiny still chasing. Stun down to Jake once again, but he will dash back to Dream. So we will survive this one. And this was also the gank coming out from Babbitt, who goes back to base for his first purchase. But still, Mammoth coming at this game at a pretty high velocity compared to Order. Kind of what you would expect the other way around, but they're making it happen. Teleport into the bottom lane here by Dream. Just return to lane.
Yeah, the flash used by Dream is something that can definitely be punished here, though. In any Alistar lane, if you're able to get a flash trade, you just have Hex Flash. So you just have the advantage in that respect if you're able to use it accordingly. And Cassiopeia, not the highest mobility champion, pre-level 6 as well. Any look-in that the Sejuani gets to prioritize or control bot side river is a moment that Mammoth will probably just take the 2v2.
Yeah.
And try and out-trade their opponents by having what is a perceived summoner spell advantage.
Miasma, though, very useful in this matchup to old Alistar.
That's true, but you saw what happened before, right? If you're not on the miasma, you still hit the headbutt pulse combo, even if you're going through it.
Yep, that is true. You can get over it.
Which is amazing. I feel like it should cancel your headbutt.
It should straight ground you, yeah. Meanwhile, Jake getting caught out once again. There's the miasma this time around, but Destiny was on it, so can't use that combo. Meanwhile, top lane, flash into Arctic Assault. Gets a stun down onto Spooks, and he's just pinned in place so with CC from this duo. And he might just chase down Tally right here. Tally does not have the Buster Shot. Will have to jump over the wall. Fudge flashes after into the World Ender. Follow through with the Q. Flash out from Tally.
Yeah, Flash is just traded in the end. The Babip didn't want any part of that fight at all. He was doing the Krugs. Fudge is sitting there getting auto attacks off, and for a Sejuani passive, you'd be laughing if you're Babip. Fudge is doing all the hard work for you, but instead he's just going to hit the Kruggy boys. He's going to get the recall off afterwards and feel okay about himself. And the top laners are just duking it out gladiatorial style into the Baron arena.
Yeah, why not? Once again, started off by Babip there, and 2 kills over to Fudge. Bottom lane, Swiffer just saying hello to King. Hits him with the enhanced shock blast.
There is so much movement going on around the map from all of the members of both teams except for Triple. Triple's just hanging out in his humble abode in mid lane, steadily farming up 5 CS ahead of the Jace. You know, pretty comfortable with his position right now in the map for a level 6 Vladimir, that much is for certain. The Tristana, unfortunately not having the desired effect of being able to keep down the Aatrox, but still, no matter what, is a Tristana, will be able to fight that Aatrox, and it doesn't just slow down at level 6 or anything. You've got the Executioner's calling, you're a scaling champion. You can continue to maintain pace in a side lane with your opponent.
And he's got a kill of his own as well, so not that far behind. Swiffer gets the E off towards tower. Triple still canning backwards, gets a bit of health back from the Hemo Plague. and has Q charging as well. Here comes the Gragas.
Yeah, any even trade is a one trade for a Vladimir, but anytime you use your pool is 25 odd seconds of time that you can be punished. And that's what Spooks was looking for there. But unfortunately, he doesn't find it. Maybe looking for the dive. Tally is here. Executioner's calling on him means that Triple would have a lot of healing cut removed. They don't find it, so now they're going to go to the red buff, and action continues.
Clutch goes in, gets a lot down onto Spooks. Knockback though. Tally blocking this one up. Blast cone over the wall, and Tally's just going to finish him off. Buster shot to the noggin. And that'll be 1-0 as Triple is coming up, protects the red buff from being taken. But nice kill back over to Order. Bottom lane is just action all over the place. Dream going to get finished off here by King.
Yeah, now 2-4 in kills. Mammoth's still with the lead, and you can see a lot of it's going to be through the bottom lane right now as the rest of the map's just fighting constantly. It felt like, you know, a little bit too much from Fudge is what it felt like. Trying to be the hero in that situation. Looks for the 1v2, very much knowing that it was a 1v2 for a significant amount of time. And just doesn't get what he's after, the kill by a sliver of health for Spooks. But that's enough. Tally gets another kill, and it's a shutdown. And I think that's where it was a bridge too far, unfortunately, for Fudge. You don't need to give that shutdown away if you're winning bot lane as well.
Yeah. Spooks looking towards Fudge. Swift on his way to the top lane as well. Goes in for the flash, misses the E. Babbitt there to receive. Swiffer dodges out of the way of the Q. Tally now under attack, doesn't have flash from that earlier trade, and Swiffer tries to get away. Extra movement speed in from the gate and the ultimate. Transform there, and 2 kills back up to Mammoth once again. Jake and Dream potentially doubling down on this.
They're not going to be able to find Fudge nor Barbib, who have both returned to the base. However, Triple's just going to get chunked out. What they're really looking for here seems to be plates on the turret if they can. But what they've done, Order, is they have hot swapped. They have gone straight from bot lane to top. They've flipped the map for themselves just to try and keep themselves in a fighting position in this game, because as bot lane has started to look more and more just really, really bad for those two in the duo. So it's a smart choice from them. What that does, however, potentially concede is plates on the bot side, and still money goes to King, but it's a trade. And a trade in a losing situation is never a bad thing. But Tally and Order say they don't want to lose these plates at all.
Oh, Gragas barrel. Destiny hits the ultimate, but he's still low on this one. Ignite onto Spooks is going to at least force him out. King still pushing forwards onto this one. Killer Instinct follows up. It's going to be Ignite kill from Destiny. King still trading off against Tally. Goes in with the rocket jump, follows up with the Buster shot, explosive charge. Tally gets the kill, jumps onto Destiny, knocks him out mid-air. Babbitt comes to the bottom lane and will clean the kill.
And it felt like a bit of a game of chicken there. Tally's laughing on the bottom of your screen, but he knows full well that if he tries to jump forwards into an Alistar, he has no vision. He's just going to be cancelled. Has to try, however, if the jump works, he gets a kill, and that's a really big deal. So unfortunately for him, Rock in a hard place, but does his absolute best and still gets a kill. Still gets a shutdown, I might add, as well again. Yep. And all of the kills that Tally's getting incredibly meaningful as someone has to pick up that Herald. And that's the transaction for all of the fighting that happens on the bottom side of the map.
It's a funny world where it's 3-0-2 for both top laners, because they've very much been involved in fights around them, but not up against each other necessarily. So here we are. Bottom lane, it will be traded for the Dragon, but the Herald will be more immediate pressure here from Order to be placed down at their leisure.
And it feels all too fair to say this, Pulse, but a confident King and Destiny is a very scary Mammoth. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. One of the biggest difference makers in this best of 5 does really feel like the bottom 2v2. They're starting to really rise up and come into their own.
I mean, his bottom lane from Mammoth is like reliably top 2 in the league, you know? Up against, I would say, the bottom lane from Order, which has been pretty shaky over the split. Sometimes you'll just get that pop-off game where Dream will just go ham, get 10 kills, 0 deaths, but
Triple just got minion blocks for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, that feels real bad. Flashes out, finally getting out of the grounded. We'll get the knock-up here, Jake, just back towards Dream. Just kind of bumps Spooks to the
all
side.
All 5
Babbitt,
members of
Destiny,
Mammoth are here.
And King are coming into this top lane play. Gets the Petrifying Gaze, buying a lot of time here, but Spooks goes into his Zhonya's, buys some time, but this is an absolute massacre in the top lane. And Mammoth find 3.
And you can hear the slam down. Aatrox is able to get all of the resets at the exact same time. Now 4-2-1. But it's not about him. It's about all of Mammoth being there. They send 5 members as reinforcements to the Vladimir. You want to deal with this Vlad? You want to stop him from pushing? You want to try and kill him? All of the boys arrive. they stop it in its tracks, and now they just hard break the game open. The cost is still high. Tally is able to get a lot of good work done on the opposite side of the map, and they don't break the turret in top lane just yet, Mammoth.
But it is a lot of focus gold over to King, to the likes of Fudge as well. Bottom lane, Destiny's also kind of been rolling in it, to be honest. Look at his gold compared to Jake right now. He's a rich support. 1,500 over his counterpart.
Yeah, I mean, 1,500 ahead of your opponent in a support role as a tank means that you're just never going to die if you're Alistar. As King, he's been flashed on.
Hits the Noxious Blast, has to speed up here, Dream. Blasted underneath the turret, though. Here comes Jake, gets the Ignite, can't dodge that one. And they will finish off King.
And this time they're able to play it out right, Order. They've also got a Rift Herald to summon if they want to break this turret straight away, and they will. Most likely even Dream just going to receive all of the gold solo, because that's what they should be doing if they want to try and prioritize being able to carry in this game. So again, Order, a good choice from them across the map, and good that they're constantly trying, because in this game it has been so hectic. Summoner spells have been constantly burned. Lane assignments feel a little bit awkward at times, and you are able to constantly poke the bear, find mismatch moments and get those picks, and they're not slowing down.
This Herald certainly isn't. We'll get a second charge off into the inner turret. We'll finally die to Triple as he comes in, but yeah, Order fighting back, getting that first tower, and they're very much still in this best of 5. Still match point, though. It will have to be the reverse sweep from Order if they want to advance to MEO and take down Mammoth and truly make the full run. But here goes Swiffer, bottom side of mid.
King no flash.
Straight up caught in the mid lane. Babbitt throws out the ultimate, and we'll follow up on this one with Destiny here. Tosses out the Petrifying Gaze, but not enough to save his ally. A 1-for-1.
No, the flail was still coming out from the Sejuani. Unfortunately for Dream, while he tries and has been hitting some very good ultimates in this game, he can't save his ally in mid. Swiffer trades himself, and you know, you take those trades again, you're constantly forcing those summoner spells, you're exploiting what is or is not there from your opponents, and now Order, slight numbers advantage in mid, are looking to harass, maybe break this turret if they can. Right now, Fudge is trying to stop them, and the fight continues.
He gets the knock up, finds the charm onto Destiny as well. May have just done enough to delay. Oh, Dream gets caught on the outer part of the queue there from Aatrox. He follows up, gets himself a kill. Dashes away from the tower as well. Triple comes out, places down some more damage, and another kill over to Mammoth, and it's just constant action in this game. Rusty, we've had 18 kills in 15 minutes.
No quarter willing to be given by either team. No step forward being allowed without a fight first. But Mammoth still coming out with more kills, still fighting.
Tally caught out, good engage there from Babbitt, but still gets the rocket jump off, and they will manage to disengage here. Order with Mammoth back away.
And it's amazing that we still only find ourselves with 3,000 gold as a difference between them. You know, like, there's a lot more kills going in favor of Mammoth. Their score lines look a lot nicer, but most of the deaths do just belong to Spooks. You know, most of the gold, I would say, still does just belong to Tally for Order. And they can still well and truly win this game. But, you know, 15 minutes, 40 seconds in, 0-2 down in a best of 5. It's not just a reverse sweep anymore, Pulse. It's a full sweep from a deficit required. And they are going to have to lift right now in this game if they want any chance, because Mammoth are hitting that mid-game stride that this whole best of 5, they've done wonders in.
The one thing going for them is Tristana is actually quite big, cresting almost the 7,000 gold mark right now. Got a lot of gold out from the turret plates. Also farm over Aatrox, even though he does have those 5 kills. So there is that going for them in terms of the carry, in terms of the AD carry at least, but Mammoth are just accelerating so quickly in this game, and they've practically shut Order out of this one. Top lane.
Yeah, I mean, they have win conditions everywhere as well, right? Every individual of Mammoth can pop right now and carry this game through, secure their ticket to the Melbourne Esports Open next week. For Order, I think it is a big game of play the macro, but play around Tally, and trust in the Tally to carry you guys to the next game. But it has actually felt a little bit like that in a couple of the games here in this whole gauntlet, you know. Tally's had a really big gauntlet for himself. He stepped up. He wants to get to the finals. He wants to get his first ever finals victory. No easy feat to be done right now.
Yeah, hard indeed. Miracle run. It's still alive, but it is an ember of what it last was, and my microphone is also
Back to Rusty.
dead. I'm going to swap.
Hopefully we get this resolved very quickly. We have a spare microphone for Pulse, so do not worry. They've
when you turned it on. Couldn't hear you.
I can't hear. Oh, hello. And I'm back. Hello. It's been a long time since I've used a handheld mic, but here we are.
The hard part for you is you're going to have to try and keep that microphone the same distance from your mouth the whole time.
Yeah.
Or we'll be like real spacey and roomy in here.
That's true. I'll try to keep it right here.
Triple's just caught odd spooks.
Yeah, this is the 2 versus 1 though. Tally is going to move into this one, but he's taking a lot of damage. Hemo Plague as well. Here comes Fudge. Flash into Q, shuts him down. Destiny on his way. Jake comes up here, catches Destiny in rotation. Still has the ultimate, but doesn't burn it though. This Alistar shaking off all of that damage. Mammoth moving into this bottom lane, have themselves a kill. This inner turret already dead. Babip looking towards Dream, gets the stun down. Charm onto Alistar. King rotating into this one. Jake backing away, but Dream is once again caught out on this Cassiopeia. Swiffer gets the knockback away, but he's still dead. Triple finds himself yet another kill.
They're
Fudge is
diving.
going into the base. We're 18 minutes in, and we're going into the base of Order. Mammoth are running them down, and they're going to get themselves at least an inhibitor.
Yeah, they're going to push forwards. Tally is back alive, though, so the inhibitor may not be the easiest thing to achieve. He jumps in to get the kill. He also gets the reset on that jump. Brilliant stuff here from the top laner of Order, saving his team with the inhibitor, and comes back at the correct time. But unfortunately, he was also the first person to die in this trade, as the Vladimir can just deal with AD carries so well, and there's no magic resistance there to keep him alive for any extended durations. Tragic stuff there from Order as they lose the team fight, they lose the tower, but the inhibitor stands.
A necessary kill there from Tally. If he dies, if he jumps in, doesn't get the execute, that's probably game, to be honest, with 4 members down. So gets the kill, moves towards topside, potentially getting a pick here onto King as well. Knock up, Tally gets the execute. And that's 19 minutes, 80 carry down. Baron not on the board, though.
Yeah, and a facepalm there from King. That's his 4th consecutive death, it feels like, where he's just being caught out of position, being maybe greedy for a Gromp, maybe just one more wave in mid, not respecting his opponent's engage range. This time they find him again, and they're able to lock him down once more. Really is that beacon of hope for Order. They continue to find these picks, they continue to generate this gold income, but Swiffer just dead to rights.
I mean, this is why we talk about triples. Vladimir, Babip potentially caught out, goes into a stopwatch, buys some time. Fudge is here as well. Destiny over the wall, though. Potential for Mammoth to turn this one around. Fudge is still looking for it. Jake goes in with the quickness, gets the charm, the knock-up. Fudge is backing away, jumps to the wall. Destiny here, buying some time, has a breakable will ticking. In comes King, back from base, lands the W into the Killer Instinct.
Dead again.
Once again, he's just straight up dead. Comes from base. Order still getting routed through the jungle, though. Spooks on a sliver of HP, and Jake behind him. 3 kills over to Mammoth regardless.
King is just doing nothing but dying in this game. Still has the flash right now. I have to assume had it during that skirmish. Jake's going to look for the assassination, but misses the mark, and he's just going to die for it. That is not something you want to be looking towards if you're Jake, but smiles on his screen. He knows that was a bit of a dumb move.
And honestly, that's been like the same story for a lot of players across the board, not just on Order, but also for Mammoth. You know, a lot of smiles to be had. As once again, triple in a 1 versus 2, but I don't think Order are the one who come out with the win here. Dodges out of the E here.
He's still caught between all of Order.
1v4, can he escape with a kill? Turns onto Swiffer, knocked away, busts the shot. Hemo Plague will be enough to take down the Jays.
Ultimately close to 2 kills as well as Mammoth. During this time, they see that everybody goes bottom. It takes a full team to deal with Triple. And while he does die, the Baron's already at 3,000 HP. It's just gone. Mammoth so far into the driver's seat right now and so close to securing their place at MEO.
Spooks and Jake pushing up here, seeing they can find some recalls, but ultimately it's just going to be a couple control wards, a bit of vision, a bit of control. And 22 kills to 9 currently. Mammoth have a gigantic lead. 7,000 gold. Jake doing his best to knock down this mid lane turret as the support. The Spooks will also turn up, but this is a gargantuan mountain to climb here if Order wants to try and come back into this game, let alone the series.
100%. This requires mistakes from Mammoth now to be able to get back into this game. I don't think that there is a scaling option that you can strictly look at here either for Order. They've got a Jace as their mid laner that's 0-4, and they've got a Gragas at 0-5. So the scaling right now is reliant on Tally. Trust in the Tally is something that we can only really look at if a team fight starts. look at the Tristana. If he is alive, there is a fighting chance, and that's the only real hope that they've got here. But the one thing to consider for Order is like, and it may look a little bit weird in a losing game, in a losing moment in a series, that they're all laughing and all having a fairly good time, but that's super important. The fact that they are enjoying themselves right now means that you don't want to count them out. But the fight has started.
It has indeed. On to Jake. Great ultimate there from Babip. He's chunked out. And at least sending the support back to base. Now moving into this bottom wave. And still have an extra Baron buff probably for this one, at least.
Predator
W.
popped.
Yeah, Predator popped. Really just trying to knock down this inhibitor. Order, where do they draw the line though? I mean, Jake is vying for this potential engage here.
Yeah, Jake has flash. The Rakan could perhaps get the ultimate off. That could set up very nicely for a Gragas barrel to follow through. Neither of those things do damage, however, so you need to use the cast or the knock up in range of Dream and in range of Tally as he is looking but misses.
I appreciate the try onto triple, but quick fingers on the Sanguine Pool, goes down, dodges out of the engage. That's now quickness out of here, including flash for the main engage here from Order. It's only looking more dire.
And the hope is fleeting. The opportunity is definitely dwindling. We crest over the 24-minute mark very shortly with one inhibitor already dead. You have to expect that Vladimir pushed in. Oh, they flashed in.
Dream goes for it, gets the kill onto King. This is a good start for Order here, dodging out of the Aatrox damage as well. Babip gonna fall, but here comes Triple. That's a 4-man knockup into a huge Hemo Plague. Triple kill for the Vladimir, and Mammoth may have just done it as they kill Tally, turn on to Swiffer, and he's dead. Quadra kill for Triple. 5 kills to Mammoth, and they've done it.
And no better way to do it here for Mammoth. A quadra for Triple on his signature Vladimir. The Baron buff minion still available. Mammoth, they get to punch their tickets. They get to go to Melbourne Pulse. They get to see the finals against the Chiefs.
Mammoth taking down the Nexus turret and put an end to Order's run in the Gauntlet. Mammoth have punched in their tickets to MEO.
Couple of kills to be seen here first, of course. They'll play with their food just a little bit longer there, but Mammoth inevitable that they'll find that victory. And a 3-0 sweep at that for them. A clean best-of-5 series from Mammoth. They really have stamped their claim right now as the big contenders. They are the top dogs coming in to face the Chiefs. And they're the team to look out for.
All right, we're going to try my original microphone.
You good?
I think we're good. I think we're good.
We've done it.
Yeah. It's only in the moments where I really need it where it goes away, and then it's back. Fantastic. Yeah, congratulations. Clean sweep from Mammoth, you know. It was just like with 3-1, 3-1 previous days into Direwolves and Bombers, and then literally just hit a brick wall into Mammoth, you know. It felt like the difference here was too big, and yeah, I mean, props to the team, but also props to Order. You know, what a run they made through the Gauntlet, being
100%.
5th seed, and like they just ramped. It was just Gauntlet Order arrived, and they just knocked down 2 big contenders.
I think the only thing that Order will regret is not being Gauntlet Order all split every split that they've had. You know, why do they have to make it so hard on themselves and run the impossible when we've seen it constantly? Spawn will no doubt say it again when he does, but like every team that finishes first wins the OPL. That's what history tells us. And so to make the runs, what they've done is nothing short of incredibly impressive, but they've made it so hard for themselves. And it does mean, you know, you come up against a Mammoth, and in a moment like this, they're able to get the 3-0s. It happens on your 3rd day of Gauntlets in a row.
It felt like like fighting against fate or fighting against a prophecy, you know, of like the OPL, right? But yeah, now we have the final. It's going to be Mammoth and Chiefs at MEO. And you can finally get the last handshake in the studio of this year. And yeah, you know, what a trip, what a run, you know, what a journey through summer into the Gauntlet. Well played to both teams.
Absolutely. I mean, Order, it won't feel good to lose right now, but their heads held high should be something that they should consider as well. They're able to do the impossible, go as far as they have. But for me, it's 100%. All about Mammoth. We have to look at how good Mammoth looked. Their form coming into this best-of-5 was a question mark. We didn't know how good or bad they would be. That was good Mammoth, 100%.
They didn't even need the Vladimir in all 3 of their games to still get those wins.
Yeah.
They got wins from deficits. They just look like a genuinely clean team. And that's the team you want to send against the Chiefs.
I mean, Triple, by the way, absolute monster on Vladimir, right? Like, you give it to him in that final game, and I'm just like, I'm cringing in my seat. I'm just like, I don't know if that was a good idea, right? And then you just see him wipe out the whole team right there, even with a great engage. Like, Dream, actually, like, petrifying gaze of the wall, and I'm like, wait, they just killed 2 right here. Is this the comeback? Is it actually the comeback? But somehow the Vladimir, that X factor is always going to be there and comes in, wipes the team. And yeah, I mean, you've got to speak to Mammoth's strengths over the split, right? Like, consistently top 2, top 1 in the split from the very start, right? Like, that can't be said for many other teams. And yeah, consistently good, consistently strong, shutout order.
Good story for Mammoth as well, just in general, right? You come into the first split, they're the super team, but the super team doesn't even get close to their own expectations of themselves. A real identity crisis comes across from Mammoth, but they manage to go through the break, they bring in Fudge, and it feels like a whole new team comes back once again. That's the Mammoth that you expected at split 1 that starts the second split and very much deserving of the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. I think right now we are just waiting for some players to flow into our studio. Here they are, yeah. So you've got to put up with us for a little bit longer. But yeah, I am personally very excited for MEO. This will be my first personally.
Yeah, same.
Here on the OPL. Really?
I mean, we both worked on the LPL
Oh,
last
yeah, that's
year.
a good point. Yeah.
Both got
I
in
don't
a
know why I
different
expected
country.
any differently. Yeah. Well, yeah, very excited. That will be next week in Melbourne. So we'll be there live. If you spot us, come say hello. If you spot Spawn and he's by himself, don't say hello. Apparently he doesn't want to be talking to
Earphones.
Yeah, spoken to.
Earphones.
But you see us, we'll talk to you. Anyway, that's enough from us. We're going to send it over to Nick Boy with the player interview.
Someone else who could talk to you, Fudge, Destiny, because you guys will be there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've got big smiles on your face now. When you walked in the door, you both look like you've just seen ghosts. Like, wiped out, mentally, exhausted, elated.
Mitch is extremely sick right now, so he might have seen a ghost in his past. But for me, I still don't want to celebrate until we win.
Until it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep the hunger.
Yes.
Yes.
Ibra's here to win. He's not here to muck around. This is his split, Like, honestly, I'm super proud of him. Like, as a teammate, like he really showed up today. And
Yeah. I mean, you had a monster day. We announced rookie of the split during today, and you came runner-up. If it had been like if we'd included today, we wouldn't have only given you the award. We would have I don't know, you'd be general manager of the country or something.
Katsuri got it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. He deserves it. He played well.
That's very deferential of you. But congratulations. I mean, you must be feeling great. I know you don't want to celebrate too soon, but you did have an incredible day.
Yeah.
How did it feel being able to step up on the stage like that?
Because it was best of 5, I was a bit more nervous than usual. And also during my regular season games, I hadn't really been the deciding factor of our games. I'd always been just a consistent even or slightly ahead player. So today, playing well, always getting a lead the first 2 games, I got a pretty big lead in both games. So I was pretty happy with the way I played.
It was so impressive. Destiny, do you even want to say anything, or are you going to vomit on me if you open your mouth?
Just beware, Swiper. Fudge is coming.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys.
TN2.
There was basically only 10 minutes of tonight where Mammoth were not in control 100%. So it's going to be a monster weekend next weekend. We hope to see you guys there at MEO. Boys, congratulations again. It's been a thrill to watch you tonight, and we'll be back right after this.
Bye-bye.
So they don't want to lose these plates at all.
Oh, Gragas barrel. Destiny hits the ultimate, but he's still low on this one. Ignite onto Spooks is going to at least force him out. King is still pushing forwards onto this one. Killer Instinct follows up. It's going to be Ignite kill from Destiny. King still
He's
trading off
jumped
against
in.
Tally. Goes in with the rocket jump, follows up with the Buster shot, explosive charge. Tally gets the kill, jumps onto Destiny, knocks him out mid-air. Babbitt comes to the bottom lane and will clean the kill.
Minion block for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, that feels real bad. Flash is out, finally getting out of the grounded. We'll get the knock up here, Jake, just back towards Dream. Change just kind of bumps Spooks to the
All
side. But
5
Babbitt,
members of
Destiny,
Mammoth are here.
and King are coming into this top lane play. Gets the Petrifying Gaze, buying a lot of time here, but Spooks goes into his Zhonya's, buys some time, but this is an
Vladimir pushed in. Oh, they flashed in.
Dream goes for it, gets the kill onto King. This is a good start for Order here, dodging out of the Aatrox damage as well. Babbitt gonna fall, but
at
here
Triple.
comes Triple. That's a 4-man knockup into a huge Hemo Plague. Triple kill for the Vladimir, and Mammoth may have just done it as they kill Tally, turn on to Swiffer, and he's dead. Quartz's turret, and put an end to Order's run in the Gauntlet. Mammoth have punched in their tickets to EVO.
Couple of kills to be seen here first, of course. They'll play with their food just a little bit longer there, but Mammoth...
A little goes a long way at Macca's. Enjoy a delicious small cheeseburger meal with your choice of an apple or raspberry and custard pie for just $4.
Welcome back to the end. Obviously, Jake is off with his team at the moment, so we've subbed in